welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle HD. We're going back to Team Dark Story, so again, let's turn back the clock just a little bit to right after the point where Shadow had beaten the guard robot. Since, yeah, when it comes to the scene selection on the story sections, yeah, don't be fooled by the thumbnails on them. Some of them will boot you back to a certain point here and there. Now, if you were playing this for like the first time, it will take you right back to where you left off with recaps, which sadly I cannot show because this is already a completed version of it, alas. Which is a shame because some of the recaps are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can wait until the gameplay to ask these.
One thing to show off is, like, well, you may notice some of these cutscenes are similar, some will have differences from the different perspectives. Some of those differences can actually refer to the fact that, yes, different character themes are playing. Yes, each character gets their own theme, but it's not just that, actually. One thing we've talked over, but you may have noticed, is that each character actually gets their own motif of music, which is a good time for me to bring up, essentially. Sonic Adventure 2 is considered by many to be a contender for being the best soundtrack in the series. And given this is, you know, the Sonic series we're talking about, that's not a light feat. This is because this track was the track that showed that not only was Sonic a rock god, but that Sonic could also tackle other genres, which as you can hear with Rouge's theme, Rouge's music motif is more the sexy bossa nova, elite spy theme, whereas Knuckles, as you recall earlier, goes for a combination of rap, R&B, and jazz.
I'm glad you brought that up because Rouge's theme is actually really good and I never hear anyone talk about it.
That's because here everyone focuses on Sonic X and the stupid saxophone that it's used constantly for her.
Nowadays...
Well, that's the double.
Okay, nowadays, Rouge's theme is thankfully getting a lot more recognition. It even did show up in True Blue, True Colors, the soundtrack. So yes, Rouge's first level is Dry Lagoon, which is also an Egyptian level, and ironically is set by a lagoon that does not feel that dry.
It's like it's around the same area that if you go to the
camera.
The camera in these games is not very good too.
Yeah. Okay. And
with all the mods, there was nothing but
it never was.
That.
It never was. Well, the thing is too, it takes a lot of fucking overhaul work to even fix a lot of this stuff.
Now, as much as I'm not a big fan of the camera in this game, oh, by the way, like in Japanese folklore, you help out a turtle, it'll help you back too. That is actually based off of a Japanese fable.
The myth of the fisherman who goes to Otohime's palace, yes.
As someone who's played the Dreamcast version before even the battle version was out, I can tell you the camera in this game has never been good.
Although, I'll be honest, what the heck were gun robots doing holding that turtle hostage?
It's Gun, Jova.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like I've mentioned, while Gun nowadays are recognized more as the peacekeepers of Earth, with their debut, they were kinda sinister. Actually, pretty sinister.
Again, the retcon that was introduced in the Shadow the Hedgehog basically tells that their commander, you know, basically created this whole thing just to be, you know, out of PTSD and revenge against Shadow.
That's actually not the case. Gun was already a thing. In fact, they were the ones who raided the Ark as well. He just happened to become
that is true.
He just happened to become a commander of them at that regard. So yes, the way the Emerald Radar works is essentially the closer you get to it, the better, essentially. That said, don't be fooled. Sometimes even if it appears you're close, it may not be how you think it to be, as in, it might be inside an enemy, or it might be inside a rock quarry, or anything you can dig into, essentially. Not to worry though, any upgrades you need for a particular level, you will get for it by then, essentially.
I actually forgot, because again, it's been a long time, you know, did those Rouge also get a respirator like Knuckles?
Nope.
She's got an emerald piece stuck in her head.
Actually, it's her scouter.
Yeah, that's a scouter scope, essentially. That's her power-up you get from her space level.
Like me?
Knuckles doesn't have, unlike Knuckles, Rouge doesn't have any levels where she has to go super duper underwater for a long time.
Also, Tia, since she's voiced by Lanny Manella, you are now imagining Luke Triton saying that.
Well, no, it's not even that. It was having PTSD from something else. But this leads me, to actually ask something. I know it's technically not very important because, for all intents and purposes, the only thing that you need to know is that this is just set after, Sonic Adventure 1. But do we know how much time has passed since then?
I'd say at least a year or so.
I don't know. I mean, not that it really matters.
Yeah, like I said, it's not like it really matters. I was just curious.
Now, the game does make it clear that this does take place after Sonic Adventure. Like, they do have some ties to it as well, which is nice for the continuity. And yes, you'll notice Rouge says Yoshi when she picks stuff up. It's cute, I guess.
And yeah, just to continue from the earlier part of the previous part, yeah, I'm checking all the credits for even the 2014 remix version. I can't pronounce it. Remix 2.04K. Like, it's a very weird way how they pronounce the 2014 remix. It doesn't matter. Ted Polly is not credited for either of the free versions. Maybe he did work but got uncredited. I don't know, but it's definitely not here in the credits for the version.
Okay, now let's show off this. A child departure. Well, it couldn't be too bad, right? Oh wait, no. Here's some soul-crushing music for that.
Happy life in a faraway forest. You will never see your child again.
Yep, a happy faraway forest.
If he's gonna live a happy life in a faraway forest, why are you playing this incredibly depressing music then?
Because the game is clearly meaning something else and is just sugarcoating it.
What? My parents told me old Rover went to live on a farm.
Well, just say goodbye to Chow. Let's see that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, game.
Like, this might be the most soul-crushing music in the game, and yes, that's counting the actual sad scenes.
I think the only thing that matched this was the actual Tamagotchis, which literally showed you the corpse if you actually attended the fucking thing.
Just be thankful I didn't write this.
And reminder, Chow can die in these games too.
What, Dwayne? We're going to say Chow was drafted for Vietnam and never came back.
No, actually I was gonna say, the Chow was so upset at being thrown out, he vowed revenge.
Jesus.
And then the Chow comes back and just starts going to town on everybody.
Wow, the game is really hammering the fact that you're never going to see the Chow again.
Alright. Say goodbye. Goodbye, Chow. Take care.
Yep, just take care.
Chow has returned to life. It will surely have a
happy joy.
What did I come back to?
It's even called the Chow departure.
We literally fooled the old Yeller with a Chow.
I love how it's literally called Chow Departure Machine. Fun fact, in the Dreamcast version, it had the ship of the VMU because the entire point of that was to put your Chow in the Dreamcast VMU. On the GameCube version, it was shaped like a Game Boy Advance because, the whole point was to put your Chow from the GameCube into the Sonic Advance's tiny Chow garden, right? But for the PC version, they replaced it with quote-unquote Chow Departure Machine.
So, yeah.
That sounds so...
Oh. There's a cameo in this.
What am I playing?
A little to the left, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Not sure what that game is, but good for you.
Is that the one
it's
where
a puzzle game.
We organize things like in the toolboxes and stuff? She right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were phrasing that as a question, but yeah. It's
No.
Yeah, you essentially.
One of the YouTubers that I follow, actually, I started playing recently, so I know.
Okay.
Also,
yeah.
You
organize various items and things in parts
also
of like
cats,
the house and stuff. Yeah.
Cute.
Also cats.
Okay, we might as well address the elephant in the room here. They definitely wanted to emphasize the physics, showing how bouncy Rouge's ears are.
Jova. Shut up.
Well, I mean, look, the ears are bouncing.
I missed that. What did you say?
The ears are bouncing, that's all. Well, I mean, her wings also move around a bit. And, nothing else bounces, absolutely.
I'm more weirded out by how, the boots are basically shaped. They're supposed to probably have some sort of heels, but it's just weird to look at at a polygon.
Oh, that's probably because I got
Because
the
I'm a-
upgrade. More on that later.
Speaking of Rouge, since you guys were talking about it, Flying the Freedom, that's their theme song, is performed by Tabitha Fair and Todd Cooper. I don't know anything that they've made aside from this, but the actual composition was by Atsushi Pazuki.
Also, Eggman literally said that nobody's going to find my secret base inside my pyramid. Literally, a fuck ton of guard robots are swarming around.
It's okay, they haven't found him because we're not in the area that literally has his face carved into the statues. But yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Salty's never been Eggman's thing, does it?
Nope.
But to be fair, wearing as
Oh, Shira, you're playing Spirit City Lo-Fi session.
There you go.
Yeah, Shirai cameos twice in this part.
Also, I have to question Eggman's, what Megan said just earlier. Those fools will never find my base inside this pyramid. Yeah, it's not like pyramids are easy to spot or anything.
Well, to be fair, there are multiple pyramids, so they don't know which one he's
And I
hiding
think
in.
it's more of a case. It's really more of a case of that it's inside of the pyramid. Ideally, they should not be able to. It's like if someone actually trying to have a secret base inside a Lincoln Memorial or something.
All right.
So unless Jova edited the part, what happened is Shiri was playing a game, but then got bored and just moved on to another one in a few
Oh,
minutes.
and then she moved on to another one again. Like, seriously.
What am I playing now?
Spirit City.
Lo-fi
Okay.
sections.
Oh, I think I had to restart for some reason, but yeah.
It happens a lot of times. I keep seeing that myself.
All right.
I wonder if I'll cameo for Danganronpa V3 at any point.
You did for one of my Ever Crisis parts, but we're far away from it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I guess I might as well talk about how it works with getting good ranks on the mech stages, essentially. Well, the first and foremost thing you need to think of is chaining. Chain as many lock-ons as you can, essentially. Now, and ideally, most times you want to avoid dying. Not simply because dying will bring down your rank automatically, but dying eliminates all the points you've gotten. Again, there used to be a point where gamers would scuff at points in games. This is one game where you will not, because points dictate what your ranking will get per level, essentially. Yeah, I hate when enemies do that. So, the idea with mech stages is chain as much as you can, but what you have to be careful of is to not get hit while you're chain shooting enemies, otherwise the bonus does not get counted. Yeah, you may notice also that I get certain things like awesome, tight, radical, or cool. Those are point bonuses that you can get, essentially, based off of how well you do a certain action here or there based off of each character. You may have noticed during the treasure hunting stages, I got perfects or awesomes based off of how quickly I found emerald shards. Yeah, with treasure hunting stages, those are ironically the one stage where you can focus mostly about how long it takes you and how many hints you use. So, they're arguably the easiest to know how to A-rank. Like I said, based off of how lucky you get with the placement of the items you're looking for, how easy it is to get that A ranking is another thing entirely.
Yeah, speaking of which, having the Eggman space plastered everywhere.
Yes, what we did was essentially Eggman's morning drive to work.
Sir, there's someone bouncing up and
Jova
down
said.
outside the entrance to a pyramid.
Yeah, it could
Like
be
Jova
anyone.
said. And like Jova said, one of the big problems with those mech stages is that enemies sometimes will just randomly fall on you without any warning, and you'll get hurt without being your fault, so it's annoying.
Chaos Emerald in the Space Colony Ark.
Like you, I genuinely do have fun with the mech stages. Eggman's is more so than Tails, but we'll get to that later. Yes, Shiroi?
A question about that stage. Is it a mod thing? Because I remember that stage being a lot darker.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
Allow me.
I think the lighting only applies for Lost Colony.
No, yeah, it applies to all of them. I'll mention after the
Federal
discussion.
Reserve Bank today. Mysteriously,
This weird accent.
Apparently, we have a British reporter over in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously.
rather poor
like,
sounding British.
yeah, what about the whole thing about him running fast? They literally framed him like that. We have a clear picture of a fucking guy.
Also, I have to put out the name of the channel, Dream News.
And like he said, even if it's night, he has red streaks on his hair, which Sonic doesn't.
God. Listen to this cutscene between Shadow and Maria. Just listen to this.
Find them before they escape!
Oh yeah, for those who think she only got shot in Shadow the Hedgehog, nope, she got shot in this one. We only see it in Shadow.
I beg of you, please, do
Maria.
it for me. For all the people on that planet. Sayonara,
Kill them all.
Shadow.
Basically.
I still remember what I promised you. For the people of this
Sayonara. What even adios, as they say in the Japanese version.
revenge.
Damn, Maria was hardcore. Shadow, I beg of you, kill every last one of them.
Yeah, it's like
slaughter them.
how in Johnny's playthrough of that randomized thing, Maria just ejected Shadow out of the arc out of spite because Maria wants to hoard all the jewels.
Okay, I really need
Okay.
to see that playthrough of his.
I'll give you a link.
Okay, so here's the cool thing. Did you guys notice something that was cool about the way that the new mixing of the mod does? We can actually hear Maria's gasps now. Like you couldn't even hear them in the vanilla.
Shadow's voice actor, however, when he had to scream, sounded awkward as fuck, though.
Well, to remember, the voice direction in this game, for the reasons Joe already explained, was not the best.
Oh, wait, here we go. Over here, idiots. I like how even Shadow can whistle, showing that, yeah, while he is all serious and whatnot, Shadow can just as much do the goofy stuff as anyone.
Hey, Sonic's getting away! He's got red stripes on it. It's Sonic, get him!
So welcome to Radical Highway, ergo showcasing that I guess every car in this world works like a roller coaster. Sir, why did we put loop-de-loops in the highway? What's wrong with
And
loop-de-loops?
steamrollers like that.
Well, that's all.
Does no one have
Funny
motion
about that
sickness
line.
in the Sonic universe?
I guess everyone runs a Tesla, right?
Let me just answer Shiroi's question. Basically, Shiroi, Speeps, the guy who made the cutscene revamp mod, also made the presentable Eggman stages mod, which Jova is using, that fixes up a lot of the lighting issues that the battle version of Sonic the Hedgehog introduced compared to the Dreamcast version.
Hey,
Because I remember not being able to see
Hey,
a
babe.
goddamn thing in that stage originally.
Yeah, as you may have noticed, Big, I guess Izuka was a big fan of Big because he put Big in every level. Yes, this game was the originator of the idea that Big is just everywhere.
Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog would also include a moment like that.
Also, Jova, how does it feel to have a dedicated light flash button?
Feels good.
Basically, Shiroi, you know how you can.
Oh,
you
wait,
use
hold
the-
on.
the beep? Go on.
I'm gonna show
Yeah,
off
you can use
something.
Yeah.
Yep, the idle button thing. Believe it or not, the characters actually get some special lines for each level if they're idle enough. Normally you would have to wait long enough to hear them. Now, thanks to a mod with just the press of the right and with the right directional button, you can listen to them.
Yeah. The mod is called.
God, that animation is cool.
It is.
The mod is called the mod is called the Fuck It, I'm Impatient mod.
It's called Idle Chatter. It's also made by Speeps. Speeps is like the goat of Sonic Adventure 2 mods.
So yeah, there's a YouTuber called Zoomzyke who has been doing a lot of level analyses, especially of Adventure 2, and he pretty much goes into detail about how this level especially is a great showcase of Shadows' powers story-wise, while actually letting you play as him, since keep in mind, the military was going hard after Sonic, but with Shadow, they actually bust out even the fighter jets and everything, which you can attack if you're quick enough. Which does...
I also noticed,
This has led some people to theorize this, that guns secretly know that Shadow and Sonic are different things, but they frame Sonic to cover up Shadow being a government escapee.
Makes sense.
Also, I noticed also somebody amigo Easter eggs in the form of a road sign.
Yep.
Victory.
My favorite Sonic mod
I do
is
wonder if also the jets are supposed to be the same models of the one in Afterburner.
my favorite
Possibly.
Sonic mod is still that Sonic 1 published by EA one.
What is that?
Basically, what if EA made Sonic 1? Basically, you have to pay money to jump, go fast.
There's actually an indie game called DLC Quest that actually properly does that.
Yeah, hell, you even have to have credits just to go through the gates in the special stages.
That's so funny. Were you going to say something, Pedro, by the way?
Yes. Jova's using the action remap mod, which remaps certain actions. Basically, sure, you know how a lot of times in Sonic Adventure 2, you try to do the light dash mid-air, but you accidentally bounce attack?
Yes.
No longer, because now you can use the fucking Y button instead, thanks to this mod. So,
I actually had
like in modern Sonic games.
The only place that I do remember it gave me a bit of trouble was in one of Sonic's stages. I think it was Metal Harbor.
Yeah, Metal Harbor. That's the one practically centering all around light speed dashes.
Yeah, there's also one particular moment in Crazy Gadget that always annoyed me back in the vanilla version.
I kind of get why it's like that, given how... Okay, for those who don't know, originally the light speed dash was coupled in with the light attack, essentially, which all revolved around revving up back in Sonic Adventure 1. Adventure 2 was the first time they were separated into different actions, but they were still mapped to the same button in that regard. Like, you can tell Sonic Adventure 2 was definitely a phase where Sega were pretty much nailing down 3D Sonic gameplay.
Actually, Jova, knowing Naka and his obsession with one
Oh
button for
my
everything
god.
philosophies.
I wonder now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Especially since we now have an entire game that showcases how insane he was with that.
Basically, too, like the reason I'm sure you're familiar with the whole thing where every single button does the same thing in Balan.
I still want to test it myself just to understand the method in the madness. So.
Sure. But Naka, this is the same thing with Sonic 1, 2, and 3, where every single one of the face buttons does the exact same thing. That works for classic Sonic
What are you doing to that palm tree?
That works for classic.
Shaking
Yeah, that works
it.
Yeah. You shake me, right? Okay, whatever. That works for classic Sonic games, Naka. However, for a game like this, hell, even in the original Dreamcast version, the Dreamcast has shoulder buttons. Use those, for fuck's sake. Like,
Alright.
This is a problem that would be in Generations too, right?
Oh, go ahead, Jova.
Right, just checking my kid's stats there. I'll let you finish up your thing with Naka. I was going to then later go into specifications of how to A-rank each stage.
Sure. Basically, Naka, in Sonic Adventure 2, the Dreamcast version, the Dreamcast controller had R1 and L1 buttons. You could have mapped the fucking light dash to one of those buttons. They go completely unused in the Dreamcast version.
Alright, let's go to the fortune teller and give our kid a name. Welcome to the fortune-telling house. You won't get your fortune told here, but it's nice to get a nice name for your chow. I'll give your chow a lucky name. Oh, your new chow is a newborn. I will give your chow a good name. This chow's lucky name is Summoning the Powers to Be Presto. How about the name Rascal?
Also,
No.
why is there the Japanese name of
Don't.
on the right?
Rosie the Rascal?
No, don't name him after that shitty PS1 game.
Rascal's a cute name for a chow.
Not the game that Lives is referring to, however, Shiro, trust me.
You
It's
see,
that crap Traveler's Tales game where the controls are horrendously balked.
you see, guys, even the ultimate life form has time to care for his son.
Of course.
This chow looks a little grumpy.
It's easily the worst thing from Traveler's Tales and John Burton of stuff that's ever been.
Yeah, speaking of the chows, by the way, in the original Dreamcast, you know how when you pick up a chow, that little blue menu shows up showing you the stats, how your chow is progressing stat-wise?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a thing in the Dreamcast version, by the way. You had to put your fucking chow in the VMU to look at its stats.
Ugh, the growing pains of gaming.
Ugh. It was so annoying.
I get the
at the
idea was
time.
because, the Pocket Station had been successful in Japan and Sega wanted to do something similar, but this time on a global scale.
That being said, Shiro, you might have noticed that big menu full of information that Jova triggered earlier called Shao Data. That's from
A mod, I'm guessing.
The Shao Data mod allows you to, because that blue menu that you see in the vanilla version isn't complete. There's a lot of more information about the Shao that is not told to you that you have to somehow figure out through plenty of metagame shit.
Like I mentioned,
I mean, there are some people who are dedicated to this mode.
Go ahead.
Like I've mentioned, as much as I do want to showcase making a heroic and dark Chao, no, that takes quite a lot of time and dedication. Now, I have the achievements on Steam to show that I've done them before, but sadly I don't think I'll be showing that in this playthrough.
Can live without that.
It's,
Will you be showing the gardens, or are you leaving that too?
Leaving that too, yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure at this point that the creature in the Black Market on the left is supposed to be a Sahagin.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
It's also, the Shao Data mod, the Shao Data menu mod, basically allows you to check all the data, every single piece of information. That way, you don't have to go around hacking the game or anything to find out how every single little thing you need to know about your Shao. That makes it way easier to raise the Chao how you want.
Like,
it's so convenient.
I will give him credit. It was kind of a genius move adding the Chao Garden with this many stats, because this will definitely keep people coming back to Sonic Adventure 2, and it also encourages you to replay the levels to get Chaos Drives and critters.
I was going to say that for the end of the game, but I think that in itself lies the problem, because not for nothing, but the game is not really super long, and he's asking me to replay the stage over and over again to farm stuff, and I'm like, I appreciate it, but I don't think you thought these 100% through.
To be fair, there will be good reason to be replaying these levels, since you need to get just about every A rank possible to unlock a certain surprise, so to their credit, there will be reasons to be replaying these levels anyway.
Before we go, let me just quickly credit Justin11 for the Shao Data menu mod, because it's so convenient for those of us who like the Shao world. So.
Alright then, we'll see you for the next part, where we will be continuing with Team Dark's story, because, yeah, believe it or not, in between Sonic getting rearrested, and when we next cut to Team Hero after Knuckles' stuff, there's actually a bit of a gap filled in by Team Dark, chronologically speaking.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Yes.
See you next part.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.